ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله هيا على الصلاة هيا على الصلاة هيا على الفلاح هيا على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله العظيم من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح للأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في سبيل الله حق جهاده حتى أتاه اليقين فاجزه اللهم عنا خير ما جزيت رسولا عن أمته ونبيا عن قومه وارض اللهم عن أصحابه وأزواجه وذريته والتابعين لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد إخوة الإيمان, brothers and sisters, the next 2 weeks our country, the nation, will go through a big change. A change of presidency, government, and what goes with it. And as Muslims, there are certain expectations by default that we need to be, as Muslims, respected, protected, our rights, civil rights, and so forth and so on. And on top of that, of course, practicing our deen, al-Islam, with freedom and without being disturbed. However, all the rights always come with a package. It's a responsibility. Others can do everything they want in their power to respect you, to make you successful, or work against you and harm you. The real question is what are we doing about that? What exactly our role is? Do we act? A typical reaction is a victim mindset. Whining, crying, complaining, why they do this to us, why they do this to us, and so forth. But let's, this time, not take anything for granted. Anything you want good for you, you have to earn it. You have to work for it. And we need to change our mindset. Because if we were to have a survey, define happiness for me. What is the definition of happiness? What is the definition of knowledge? What is the definition of being responsible? We will have an amazing number, a huge variance. Even the Bell curve in statistics will really cry out. Why? Because we don't seem to be on the same page. As Muslims, every individual chooses to remain individual, chooses to be his own or her own understanding of her deen and life and family. And if we now, and the time is always there and has come and past due, and it's due time to reflect on this issue. The only place for Muslims has been, is now, and will always be, is to go back to the Quran. The Quran gives us a direction. Haven't we read, and we read all the time, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. Surah Al-Baqarah. We leave Alhamdulillah for now. Surah Al-Baqarah. The first principle, the first message, it's hidayah for who? للمتقين. If we don't have hidayah, it's an equation. No hidayah, we have a problem with the taqwa. And this is exactly what I was talking about a little bit ago. That everybody sees life and happiness and money and wealth and communication, children and spouses, and this life, all of it, we see it differently. And Allah says, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. He created us to be muttaqeen. He wants us to be muttaqeen. And again, if we do the same survey with the same people saying, define taqwa for me. What is your understanding of taqwa? You don't have to go and do research and Google and everything. Just your heart. What your heart tells you about taqwa. What is your understanding of taqwa? And it seems like we go back. We have a lot in common with, and please do not get offended, because we have to touch on the points that hurt. We have to fix our weaknesses. We always talk about, the bright, the side of things. We share so much with atheists and non-believers. You don't lie, you don't steal, you do this, you do that, and that's the end of it. This is taqwa. This is taqwa. I go to my job, I earn, I don't hurt my neighbor. But is the promotion of this deen part of taqwa or not? And if you want to promote this deen, if you want to market this deen, if you want to brand it and package it and put it there for your neighbor and for those you're not going to lie to and you're not going to cheat and you're working with you, they are your colleagues, your neighbors, the people you know, your friends. How are you packaging your message, your faith? That's your prime responsibility. Eating, drinking, and living, staying healthy, they are all means to serve the real cause, the real mission of promoting this deen. And that's why sometimes Allah Azza wa Jal, when we fail to do it, He takes over, autopilot, and He will get the kuffar to put pressure on you, so the word Islam and Quran starts spreading big time. And people start, what is this deen? Let me read about it. And we have Muslims joining and coming to Islam, not because of our efforts, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants this change to happen. He has mercy, He has rahmah for everybody, and He wants them to be exposed to His rahmah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anytime any one of us falls short of doing their mission, Allah goes into autopilot. You miss the ajr. If not being punished, you miss the ajr and the reward. And Allah guarantees it's His deen, it's not ours. Inna ad-deena 'inda Allahi al-Islam. It's His deen subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody has monopoly over this deen. And due to time, I will share with you 4 beautiful ayat, and all of the Quran ayat and verses are beautiful. Let me take you to a surah that it is in the Sunnah recited for Eid prayer in second rak'ah, for Jum'ah in second rak'ah, and also Fajr of Jum'ah in second rak'ah. It's called Surah Al-Ghashiyah. And let me go directly to those 4 verses. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت. Subhanallah. Allah is inviting us, after dividing 2 groups, the good and the bad, the dwellers of Jahannam, may Allah protect us from it and not make us one of them, and the dwellers of Jannah, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us Jannah and make us of those that go to Jannah, inshaAllah. Allah is telling us, أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ. Don't they look at the camels, how they are created? How Allah created the camels. And then the second ayah, وَإِلَى السَّمَاءِ كَيْفَ رُفِعَتْ. Look at the sky. How is it lifted up? There are no pillars to hold it in place. وَإِلَى الْجِبَالِ كَيْفَ نُصِبَتْ. How the mountains are erected. It's a sign of power, resistance, determination, and stubbornness. And the fourth, وَإِلَى الْأَرْضِ كَيْفَ سُطِحَتْ. How the plains and the prairies, the plains are so fast, the horizon, look at the deserts, even over the sea, over the water. You cannot, your eyes will never reach the end of it. Allah is looking at these things and telling us, take a moment, reflect on these 4 things, and you will find wonders and treasures. And let me share with you some of those, and Allah knows best, subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not here telling you this is what it means, but I'm sharing with you some reflections that I've learned from scholars. As we progress in our lives, you need fuel, you need support, you need a vision, you need to have the tools and means and resources for you to sustain your mission in your life. The camel, especially with those with the double hump, equipped with fuel storage, water. Sustainable fuel system, divine power, can go through the desert with loads on top of their backs, with confidence, with peace and security. Allah made that creature for us to reflect on. In essence, the camels reflect one amazing principle in Islam, in the Quran, which is sabr. So we need to learn from this ayah is sabr. Whether it's Trump or Hillary or X or Y or Z, we have to have sabr. It's us. We need to have that fuel, the sabr, the determination, the commitment, understanding no one on this planet will hurt you without the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you can go after something forever, you will never get it because it was not meant for you. So we have to sustain sabr. And sabr is when you do salah, you need sabr. To make wudu and do salah, come to the masjid. And when we refrain from haram, we need sabr too, because the temptations are there. Beauties, temptations, and Iblis, when Iblis started, it was one Iblis, one individual. But after Iblis disobeyed Allah Azza wa Jal, Iblis is called in the Quran what? Shaitan. And Shaitan immediately designed, it was pre-designed, business plan, and now how many shaitans are there? Allah knows. Trillions, more, all the gigabytes and megabytes of all the data that we know of. You cannot have enough space on the hard drives to count the shaitans out there. So, the work is there. What is our work? We need sabr. وَإِلَى السَّمَاءِ كَيْفَ رُفِعَتْ. The sky is high. Us Muslims, we need to rise up. We need to clean up the dirt. We need to polish. We need to flush the garbage. Don't be personal. Be above and beyond that. If somebody hurts you, don't deal with them based on their behavior, based on your standard. I always say, and I remind myself first, I don't give the poor because they are worthy or not. I give the poor and the needy because it's my standard. This is what Allah wants me to do. This is how I can please Allah Azza wa Jal and get that taqwa. I do things because I believe in them. This is me. Others can hurt, others can say, they can claim, call names, do things, but what am I doing about it? It is my plan. We know the shaitan plan. The Quran is so much very transparent, very clear. Allah is telling us, أَلَمْ أَعْهَدْ إِلَيْكُمْ يَا بَنِي آدَمَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا الشَّيْطَانَ إِنَّهُ كَانَ لَكُمْ عَدُوًّا مُبِينًا. Allah is telling us, I told you don't worship the shaitan. It's your enemy. وَإِلَى الْجِبَالِ كَيْفَ نُصِبَتْ. So you have sabr, and you are above and beyond the dirty stuff and the little things, the minute things, the irrelevant things, and we are for the higher cause, just like the sky. It can be windy, there are storms, there are things happening on earth, on the ground, but the sky remains high and clean. And I remind each and every, when you fly, you take a flight, remember how the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and those mountains of clouds flying in the air. But the more the airplane flies above the clouds, the sky remains the same, high and blue and clean and beautiful. And if it is at night, you're going to enjoy a different companionship. Look at the moon, look at the stars. And that's why we need to remain high, just like the sky. The mountains come to make you firm, to make you strong, to make you really with dignity and integrity and power. You can be intimidated, you can be threatened, we can have informants, we can have this and that in media, mass media, mainstream media, special media, ethnic media, everybody can talk, but we remain solid as the mountains in its place, unmovable, unshakable. That's the believer, that's the mu'min. This is how you protect your taqwa. This is how you retain it to begin with, and then protect it and sustain it. However, don't we need to be flexible? Don't we need to live and work out of an open mind, open heart? And this is where the fourth sign comes in. وَإِلَى الْأَرْضِ كَيْفَ سُطِحَتْ. The plains, the openness. Be open-hearted, open-minded. Listen. Sometimes I face all this all the time. If I ask a question before I finish, I get bombarded. Listen, wait, absorb, comprehend. Give yourself a chance. Weigh your words. Be wise. Take care of yourself. We are liable, responsible. And this is sometimes what happens in courts. You start with, the right is yours, but then you said something, now it turned against you. We have to watch out what we do, what we say, so things don't turn around and become against us. And we indict ourselves, incriminate ourselves without us paying attention. You have to be open-minded. You have to listen. Subhanallah, look at all of the Anbiya, all the prophets in the Quran, and I remind you, go back to the Quran. It was a dialogue. It was an open-minded. The prophets were simply open-minded human beings. They listened to their people, to their aqwam. They listened to them. They argued with them. They back and forth. They said, okay, fine. At the end, lakum dinukum waliya din. You don't want to follow? That's your choice. Allah Azza wa Jalla, the first most important thing is freedom. The very freedom we want from our government, we have to give it to others. We have to grant others the freedom to criticize us and disagree with us. We have to rise up. Allah is their Lord, it's not us. We cannot practice the role of Allah Azza wa Jalla on people. We have to rise up. We have to open up. And that's why the fifth verse, the fifth ayah immediately after those four came, فَذَكِّرْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرْ. You remind. That's your role, it's just to remind. You know, we take this role of convincing others. Don't try to convince. It's only bayan, package. Present your message to the best of your ability. May Allah Azza wa Jal grant us the blessings of the prophets, that they managed to package and deliver their message from their hearts and minds, and they sustained what came with it, and they had to go with the sabr and the firmness, and they were high and above the little things. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enlighten our hearts. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله حمد الشاكرين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ولي الصالحين المصلحين المخلصين المخلصين. الله أسأل أن يجعلني وإياكم منهم، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله عليه أفضل الصلاة وأزكى التسليم بأبي وأمي يا رسول الله. Brothers and sisters, rest assured Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in charge of events. Things happen according to His qadr and mashi'ah. He chooses subhanahu wa ta'ala. We just manifest the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as the days come and this transition of leadership in our country and for the nation takes place, remember just one thing. What are you as a Muslim, as a citizen, our behavior, our contribution to humanity, our promotion of our deen, our packaging of our deen, our presentation of our deen, the quality inside. Believe me, the more quality we have on the inside, the more quality will show on the outside. We cannot sugarcoat Islam. It is what it is. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadun Rasulullah. Those who would like to join, we welcome them. Those who don't, we have room for them. That's their choice. They will be responsible and liable for their decisions. But we are not to enforce on others what we believe. Therefore, this is the way to go. Go back to Quran anytime you feel anxiety, stress. If you hear something from Trump, a tweet, go and tweet with the Quran. Get a tweet out of the Quran. Enjoy it. Connect with Allah Azza wa Jal. You will be safe, secure, and happy deep in your heart. وَنُنَزِّلُ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ مَا هُوَ شِفَاءٌ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. You need shifa, you need rahmah. Go back to the Quran, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with the Quran. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the noor and the light of the Quran in our hearts and minds. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the consciousness to see our path, to take on our mission, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Get taqwa, sustain it and grow it. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with sabr and highness and firmness and openness. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma ighfir lana warhamna wa'afina wa'fu anna. Allahumma tawaffana wa anta radin anna. Allahumma arham mawtana washfi mardana wa taqabbal shuhada'ana wa kun li jarhana وللأيتام والأرامل والمساكين واليتامى يا رب العالمين. اللهم كن للمسلمين في سوريا أخواتنا وإخواننا في البر. Ya Allah, be with our sisters, the refugees, those in Syria. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, we ask of you on this blessed day to be for the orphans and the refugees and the needy. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lift the suffering from the Muslim Ummah all over the place and guide us in this country and everywhere else. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma protect our communities, our families, our children, our wealth, and make it pure halal. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma arhamna wa'afina wa'fu anna wa taqabbal minna waj'al ya rabbana aqibatana khayra al-umuri kulliha ila al-jinan jannat al-na'im. Allahumma ameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wa aqim as-salat.